Hello everyone, welcome back to the Herbal Bunny. My name is Tamatha. Today we are going to be starting some seeds, but also wanted to just kind of do a little chit chat type video. So I already went over some of these flower seeds that I'm going to be planting, so I won't bore you with that. I'll just show them to you briefly. Already got my soil mixed up. Sorry if the thing's bouncing, I got my camera perched. So this here is my soil. I use black gold seed starting soil, so you want to put enough water in there to where it holds together, but not where it's like wringing out. And we're just going to fill up the seed trays. So some of the stuff I wanted to kind of talk about is planting our own food and eating in our kind of geographical location. We don't really eat enough foods from our area, and we don't grow a lot of us don't grow a garden, and I'm guilty of that too. In the last several years growing up, we did have gardens and whatnot. I'm trying to put two right here. So we always, had chickens and we had cows and things like that on our farm. Make up some more soil. But it's really important to actually eat foods that are in season and according to our geographical location. That helps to boost our immune system and give us the nutrients that we need for that specific time of the year. So if you think about like all the animals, just think about the animals out in the wild, the birds and the rabbits and raccoons and stuff. They all eat according to what's in season. They're not transporting foods from other countries and whatnot to eat. The only time they actually get those foods is when we actually give it to them. This helps to boost their immune system, protect them from sickness and disease that's, throughout that geographical area. I don't know if you've ever heard of people saying eat honey that is within your area to help you with allergies and stuff, because the bees use the pollen from the local plants, and if you consume that, it helps to boost your immune system. Honey is very anti-inflammatory. Same way it goes for eating plants and stuff that's within our geographical location. I really hope that camera's not bouncing you guys too much. So just like the plants need nutrients, they build up immune system according to its area. It pulls the nutrients and stuff from the soil that it needs. And eating stuff from the wild, if we can actually get stuff that's grown in our own soil in our areas, and usually within like a 50-mile radius, so shop your local farms that within like a 50-mile to 100-mile radius, because like out here in Washington, like it is so much different from Eastern Washington to Western Washington. The weather is completely different. Like in the summertime, it's like desert in Eastern Washington, and there's a lot of rain out near Seattle. And then you have the mountains, the foothills, that's colder, and we have much different growing seasons. I have a very long growing season. We don't get a whole lot of snow, but we get a lot of rain. We want to eat according to what is in season. We want to eat according to what is in our area. And the plants and stuff will get nutrients for us to be able to boost our immune system, same as it does with all the animals out in the wild. Very important. When I say eating things that are in season, so for instance, right now blackberries are not in season. What's in season is tubers, things that last, that things that we've picked up. And oh, I hope I didn't get too much water. I may have too much rambling. We have tubers and stuff. Put this down so I don't bounce, you guys. I'm so sorry. Carrots, winter squashes, some beans. These are things that have grown, and we can harvest them and we can store them over for the winter, and that's what we eat, and it helps to keep our nutrients up. So it has nutrients in those plants that helps us to survive throughout the winter months. Squirrels do the same thing. Bears, they eat a lot and they hibernate. They build up a lot of fat on their body. They eat things that give them a lot of fat on their body to store up for the winter. Also, fasting is really good too for our bodies to kind of heal, rest and digest. So when you're looking at things that grow in your area, like apples really grow great out here in Washington. So we should be eating a lot of apples. Blackberries are everywhere. If you look at what's growing around you, usually, you know, I believe in the Bible very wholeheartedly about God will supply all of our needs. I have some allergy issues and low iron, and if I took a look around, there's lots of stinging nettle in my area. That is wonderful for allergies, and it's excellent for boosting your iron levels. Okay, so one of the other little things I want to talk about, since we're talking about eating foods in our area and stuff, we need to bring in pollinators that can help pollinate the things that we do grow. And this here is something I like to plant out. So I usually plant this in like an area I really don't do a whole lot with. I have kind of like hillside. I don't really go back there. And so I'm going to try this out there. I did have some in my front yard and they reseed awesome. I've had them for 5 years out in the front yard. So I'm going to put these into the backyard. And it's just a big mix of just wildflowers that brings in pollinators. So the hummingbirds, the butterflies, the bees, they really like this. So it does say butterfly and hummingbird mix wildflower. So I got this at Ace Hardware, I believe. It comes with a seed, fertilizer, soil improvement. So it's just sprinkle and watch it grow on there. I'm really excited to give that a try this year. All right, so now we're going to start planting our seeds. My very first one is, this is echinacea, so purple coneflower. I love echinacea. I think I have talked about it in a previous video. It's really awesome for healing, boosting the immune system. I had used this on my mother's wound on her arm where they ripped her skin because it's very thin. There's the seeds. I'm just going to plant just a couple and 6 of these cells. Just like that. And this is going to be really awesome for pollination. Bees love this. Love coneflower, love echinacea. You can use the seeds. Like if you have a toothache, I'm going to be planting a toothache plant. Where is he at? He's in here. Probably on the bottom. At least I thought I grabbed him. Oh, yep, there he is. He's in here. I'm going to be planting this. All these seeds are from the MI Gardener. I've been trying different companies this year. I typically have been just I do plant some seeds, but typically in the past with flowers and stuff, I just go ahead and just buy them already propagated because I suck at growing things. And this is my first year I'm actually growing flower seeds in trays. I usually just put them outside in the soil and never had much luck. But I've always had great luck with buying a flower that's already grown and then transplant it into the ground and it grows wonderful and everything. I just never remember to save the seeds. Important if you want your flowers to keep growing and they're not or perennial, collect the seeds. And since I talked about this one, I'll just plant this one next. I don't usually get many toothaches. Every now and again my gums will get sore, so I'll just try this out. I'm just kind of curious actually to see if it has like a numbing effect. Sprinkle those on there. Those are pretty tiny seeds. Yeah, I have never had much luck, like I've said before, with growing things and flowers outside. This is my first year growing flowers in trays. I am going to be getting ready to do some of my greens, my kales, chard, some lettuce outside. We did, like this morning we got frost, so I want to make sure I plant some stuff that are frost hardy, and a lot of the cruciferous vegetables are frost hardy, so I will be planting some of those. I have actually some kale out in the garden, that I've been nibbling on. And I'm hoping, because it does keep growing. It's like pretty naked. It's like this long stalk, and like the leaves are at the top. It's dinosaur kale is what I have. And I'm like, this looks pretty ratty, you know, he's kind of naked as he's going up, but I only have just one. I don't know why last year I just planted just a couple kale when I should have been planting more. This one is St. John's wort. My husband and I, we have a painting business. This lady, she was so upset with the St. John's wort because it kind of just took over her whole hillside going down towards the waterfront. So she was having some landscapers come and rip it out. And I did not know at the time, because this had been a few years ago, the benefits of having St. John's wort. Had I known, I probably would have snagged some of them. They were actually in bloom, and that's when you want to actually harvest the blooms when you're going to be doing tinctures or medicine. Get the bloom. You're going to put them in like oil or alcohol and keep them in like a warm place, but not a real sunny place. And your water, or whatever your menstruum is going to turn it like a real pretty red. And if you actually hold one of the flowers up to the sky, you'll be able to, tiny red dots are on the back of it. And that's like the blood. I call it the blood of the St. John's wort. St. John's wort is really awesome for people with depression. It also helps with pain. I've used it in my muscle rub. I use it in my anxiety medication. One thing you do have to remember about St. John's wort, if you're currently taking any antidepressant, make sure you don't really want to take them together, because St. John's wort can slow down the effect, and then you can get like a burst of the depression medication. So that's not very good. However, if you do want to try it out, talk to your doctor about weaning you off, because you don't want to stop antidepressants all at one time. You want to make sure that you slowly wean yourself off of the antidepressants, and then you can try the St. John's wort with a couple other different things, valerian or kava kava. Anything that's going to help calm down the nervous system. I love valerian. I actually have some valerian growing outside. I'm really excited to harvest the roots on that. The roots is what you want to use for the valerian. I did try some of the leaves in a tea, and I noticed there's some medicinal benefits in the leaves, but mainly it's the root that you want to harvest. It kind of has an awful smell to it. Some people kind of describe it as like a wet horse of some sort, but the roots are the beneficial parts that you want to use. All right, so I just planted some lavender seeds. I love lavender. This is Vera. I use a lot of lavender. I love it. I have little bath bombs that I make, and I have a diffuser. I love putting lavender essential oils. My favorite lavender farm is up near Sequim, Washington. It's called Purple Haze Lavender Fields. If you're ever in Washington, go up to Sequim. It's a bit of a drive from anywhere because it's really out in the middle of nowhere. But they have awesome ice cream that they use lavender, but it smells so wonderful up there. They have a house that you can actually rent out. There's a lot of weddings. I had thought about having my wedding up there, but Thornwood Castle grabbed my attention. All right, next one is milkweed. I want to be honest. I'm sad to admit, as a naturopath and somebody coming as an herbalist, that I don't really know a whole lot about milkweed, except for butterflies love it. I have read some articles that talk about that it's pretty toxic and you don't want to use it if you have liver issues. All right, my next one is milk thistle. Love milk thistle for the liver. It is liver's best friend, other than the gallbladder. The gallbladder is its BFF, best friend forever. This is just its best friend. It really helps to tone up the liver. My mom has cirrhosis. I give her milk thistle to help kick her liver back into acting right, detoxifies it, tones it up, gives it the nutrients it needs. Of course, when you have any liver disease, you want to make sure you're eating really healthy, removing toxins from your everyday life. That's really what's going to help. Something I like to tell people, you can take all the herbal remedies that you want, but if you don't fix the diet and the actual cause, you're never going to get better. I've had so many people say, hey, what can I take to help me lower my blood sugar? Well, there's some things that I can suggest, but if you're still eating the cakes and donuts and alcohol every day, you're never going to get it under control. It may help, see a little bit of a result. However, long term, got to fix the diet. That's something that we all really need to be working on, and I'm going to be talking about that in another video soon. All right, got some German chamomile. I have a section in my garden. This comes back every year. I love German chamomile. It's in all of my nightly teas. Ooh, those are tiny, tiny, very tiny little guys. Just gonna lightly sprinkle them. Yeah, they come back pretty good. I want to put these in another section, and I wanted, just curious to try out in my gardener's seeds. It has a real calming effect. You can also use it on your skin, so any inflammation, that's anti-inflammatory, really beneficial. Use it in like a salve or whatnot. Chamomile. Make sure you put the dates on your tags. I was like, oh, when did I plant these? Don't know. Because I didn't put it down. But yeah, I have really sloppy handwriting. My husband has awesome handwriting. Sometimes I'm looking, I was like, what the heck did I just write? I don't know what I wrote. All right, our next one is Bee Balm, Wild Bergamot. You can actually use bergamot in essential oils. They also are really great for men's cologne. I have seen that in men's cologne. So Bee Balm, other than attracting bees, make a great pollinator, bring in the pollinators. It's really good for your skin. It's like a balm. Just thinking, you know, just like a balm for your, it's the balm. It helps with skin inflammation, rashes, sunburns, things like that. You can add that in with the chamomile. I have marigold, calendula. You can just kind of make a salve out of that to help with inflammation on your like eczema, if you have eczema. Poison ivy, it's really good for that. It also helps with digestive issues. So if you have any inflamed stuff in your gut, Bee Balm is really good for that. Also, the chamomile would be really good for helping any inflammation in your body. It's an great anti-inflammatory herb. Definitely recommend it. I actually like the smell of it. Some people think that it smells kind of too earthy. Bergamot, I really don't like the essential oil of bergamot. I don't really smell it in the flower. Like, I don't see, like, maybe it's not the same thing. Maybe I'm thinking it totally different thing, but I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. Bergamot essential oil. All right, my last three, it's gonna be some lemon mint, my hyssop, and some spearmint. I love using all kinds of mints. Mints are really great for your stomach and kind of give you a refreshing. Lemon mint, I had some of it growing and something happened. I think the cat used the pot I had it in as a litter box. We're gonna have to grow it from seed this year. I'm pretty sure it might come back, but I don't know. Cat urine and pee is not great for anything. I'm trying to, is there a purpose? Cats are great for keeping down mice and rats, but their can't use their stuff to help with anything that I'm aware of. I could be wrong. Maybe y'all can just let me know down in the comments. I really love my lemon mint. It has a very, I like to mix it with lemon balm. And just some spearmint would be great too in it. Very refreshing, very healing. The gut, you just don't want to do a lot of mint if you have ulcers. That may make you scream and cuss a little bit. Hyssop was actually used in biblical times. Alright, so just to kind of recap as I plant these last seeds of making sure you are eating as much as you possibly can from things that are grown in your area, and starting your own garden. Like if you don't know, like I grew up on a farm, my parents did a lot of gardening, however I was just part of picking stuff. You know, I didn't help with much of the planting. I really wish my parents had got me more involved in that, but we did not. And then I got married and I did have chickens out here, but just really trying to focus on, because when you grow it yourself, you know what's involved in it. You know what fertilizers or pesticides, you know, how many people has touched it, you know, who all has touched my apple before I got it out of the grocery store. How long has it been sitting on the shelves, because apples, you know, have a big shelf life. So it's just some of the stuff that you want to think about. All right. I don't have any extra dirt down here. I'm just going to cover it with this vermiculite. And you don't have to have like a thick layer. This helps to hold the moisture in. It also helps prevent algae and other stuff that you don't want growing in your seedlings. And really, seeds need light to germinate. You don't have to plant them too deep. Some of these are bigger seeds, but like the mint ones are so tiny, like the spearmint was like a bag in a bag. That's how tiny they were. You can get them out. But yeah, I really encourage you guys to grow your own garden this year. Just grow something, no matter like a tomato. Even if you support your local farmer and go and get like a plant that they've already started for you, put it in a pot or in the ground and see what it's like to grow your own food. My mom lives in an apartment building, and I got her an area outside where she's able to grow her own stuff. So talk to your apartment managers, talk to landlords and say, hey, you know, I'm kind of curious, can I have like a section where I can just do a little bit of gardening and grow something, even if it's lettuce, leafy greens, something. That way you can know where it came from and maybe just really like it. My husband, he helped me plant some seeds, and he was like, oh, I can help you do it again. I'm like, oh, I've been trying for years to get this man to help me. All right, there we have it. 12 medicinal plant seeds going. Hopefully in a few days they'll start to germinate. I do not have a humidity dome that I can put on these ones, so I'm just gonna have to pray that they don't dry out too well. Another thing that I've found that helped me to remember to water is setting an alarm. You have to name your alarm, because I'm like, why is this alarm going off randomly? So I have the ability on my phone to actually name my alarms. Water the seeds. Plus, it's really exciting time right now that, you know, I got some stuff that's popping up and I'm really excited. So I'll have to actually show you. Hang on. These guys are my artichokes. I'm going to be getting ready to actually transplant these into a bigger pot. Thing you want to remember when you're transplanting, you want to make sure that they have their true leaves. So the leaves that pop up like this one right here. The leaves that come out of the ground, that's just the seed leaves. The true leaves are these second leaves that pop up. So see, for instance, this one right here, here's the seed leaves, but these right here are the true leaves. So you want to make sure that those are out. Otherwise, you're going to kill your little seedling. But you want to make sure those are out. So I'll probably give these a few more days before I actually start yanking them up out of there. But the roots are actually pretty... Alrighty, there they are. Just in case you're wondering, I got these grow lights from Lowe's, and they're just they were like 20 bucks. They seem to be working really well, but that's the name of it if you wanted to check them out. Some of the stores, because it's that time of the year, you may have to order them on Lowes.com, because our stores was kind of running low on them. Had to go to 3 different stores to get these ones. And these here Lowe's grow lights from last year, everything's doing really well. This one here was like $130. It's actually I got it on Amazon, but it's intended to grow marijuana. But my plants absolutely love it. Let's check to see if the onions, oh, I do. I have onions starting to pop up. These were the seeds. I put unknown brand. This one my friend had given me. But there he is. You see that little guy starting to pop up there? Yeah. So we'll keep this on there. Some in the back there too. I really like this light. It heats up pretty well too. And this here are onions that I got from FHS. What is that? I can't remember what FHS. I think it might have been, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to double check. But they're focus. There's some onion. They're growing pretty tall. I don't want to get too leggy. But they're going to look like grass the first year. It's really, they're biannual. And you'll want to harvest them in their second year. I think I've talked about that in another video. And these ones down here, I planted on the 4th of this month. There we go. Got some stuff sprouting in there. Especially this side over here. Looking good. And my husband and I, we just planted these. What day was it? I have it on the 9th. I don't see anything sprouting in there yet. It's only been 3 days. Today's the 12th. Oh, we'll just keep our fingers crossed that my husband didn't ruin them. No. He does not have a green thumb. Alright, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that video, and just keep watching while we post some more videos. Excuse the mess back there. I'm going to be remodeling down here. This is my grow area. Alright, you guys. Have a great day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next video.